and gentlemen, they are tuning in. So listen up. If I were you, and here's how I do my best. I do my best to think, if I were you, what would I want to hear right now? As we're moving into Go Diamond, and let's just say, it's my first week in the business. It's my second year in the business. Maybe I'm a sapphire, maybe I'm a new director, maybe I'm a new emerald, maybe I'm a new diamond. What do I need to hear right now in the season that we are in, July, the halfway point of this year of 2021? What would I want someone to say to me to help me catapult my business? Now, I'm going to give you, I'm going to hold myself accountable during this training. So I'm going to do something I normally don't do is I'm going to show up some visuals just real quick, just presentation style, just to kind of hold me accountable. So hopefully I have screen control. So give me I'll be right back to that in just a second. But here's what I want you to understand. Your mindset about everything is directly related to everything that's going on in your business. And I'm talking to me too. I want you to understand, when I'm training on a subject, that subject has already hit me before it hits you. And I'm a firm believer that you cannot learn how to swim in shallow water. You understand what I just said? You cannot learn how to swim in shallow water. You got to go into the deep. You have to go into what is considered uncomfortable to learn how to swim. So if you're listening to me right now and you're in iBoomerang, you're Elevate, your iGo, your Zents, your whatever it is, what do you want from this? And these are questions that I ask myself. These are questions that I want you to ask yourself. What do you want this to turn into? And what are you willing to do to get there? How hard are you willing to fight to get to the other side? How much energy are you willing to put in to be a part of history? And this is how Johnny talks to Johnny. I can't learn how to swim in shallow water, so I got to push myself into the deep. I have to have these uncomfortable conversations. Stop wanting a giant's reality with the mindset of a cricket. Stop wanting to live at the top when you're hanging out at the bottom in terms of your mindset. The mindset says this: listen, if you want to be a champion, champions go through things. How do you know that you had a great workout? I'm talking to all of you. I'm talking to blue diamonds. I'm talking to diamonds. I'm talking to emeralds. I'm talking to ruby sapphires. I don't care what your title is in this company. I don't care what rank you achieved. I'm talking to me too. What do you want from this? What are you willing to do to stay in the game? How hard are you willing to fight? What stories are you willing to fight through? Those are the stories. Like, I love, reading stories and learning stories about giants. Like if I pull up my books that are close to me right now, these books are all about giants. These are about giants, people who've been through some things, people who fought to the other side. And you know what's crazy is I have found in life that we love to read the stories of overcomers. We love to hear the stories of adversity of people who made it to the other side, because that's where we get our encouragement. We are encouraged by learning from the fact that, Mr. Holton Bugs went 7 years when he began this industry in network marketing, where he every now and then got up to $500 a month. Every now and then. That's a story that we learn from. Why? He struggled, and now he's made history in this industry. Do you understand? And I'm saying this without exaggeration. There is not one person alive who has ever signed up in the network marketing industry, home-based business arena, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. There's not one person alive today or dead that has ever joined a company and in 10 years, 1 decade, made over $100 million in commissions. There's only one person alive that's breathing that can say they've done that. And that's Mr. Holton Bugs. But that's the story. That's the glory. But you got to know the story. And that's where we get our encouragement, right? We get encouraged by learning stories of people who had every reason to give up, every reason to throw in the towel, every reason to say, I quit. This is it. I'm done. But for some reason, they didn't. For some reason, something inside them said, listen, we can make it to the other side. We can make it to the other side of this adversity. That was Mr. Holton Bugs. We love reading those stories. We love reading the stories about the individual who overcome adversity and won the Olympics, whatever it is. But you ever ask yourself, when's your story going to start? There is no question you want to be at the top. That's easy. We all want to be at the top. But what about the story that you took to get to the top so people can appreciate the story? Listen to me. Everything that we have gone through in iBoomerang, that is part of the story of where we're headed. That is part of the story of making it to the top. And those of us who are here, those of us who play the game, those of us who give it everything that they have to make it to the top, those are the individuals that will be sharing the story of iBoomerang around the world. Remember when? Remember when? When we have 1,000 millionaires or $1 million earners in iBoomerang, that's going to be the time where we look back and say, do you remember when? Do you remember when we couldn't log in? Do you remember, when we had hiccups? Do you remember COVID-19? See, we're going to have those stories. My question is, are you going to be there? Everybody wants to be at the top. But my question for you is, do you have what it takes to make it to the other side? I'm going to put up a quick visual, just a second. Give me a quick second. And these visuals are really just to hold me accountable when it comes to time, because I want to share some information with you guys. I want to talk about, going into Go Diamond. Like what mindset would I want to be in right now going into Go Diamond? And give me a second, because here we go. All right. So if you, I'm sure you guys can see this. I'm going to change my settings so all this stuff is not blocking me, and hopefully you can see it. It's really more for me than it is for you, trust me. So I want to talk about the difference between, being responsive and being reactive. And I'm going to slow down on this because I know we have multiple translations that are going on. But as I'm talking to you right now, here's what I want you to be thinking to yourself. What does it take for me to create a multi-million-dollar business in iBoomerang? And some of you probably have never even entertained that possibility. Maybe you thought about it, but have you really subscribed to it? There will be thousands of people in iBoomerang who have multi-million-dollar businesses as time progresses. I want you to think like that today. This is the mindset that I would have, that I would be pushing forward, that I would be hungry for, especially as I'm going into an event called Go Diamond. So for those of you who are coming in person, I want you in that mindset. For those of you who are going to be tuning in from around the world, I'm going to put you into a mindset that starts today that will take you all the way to the beginning of Go Diamond. And you're going to be hungry. You're going to be ready. You're going to be looking. And this is straight out of my book, Building a Millionaire Mindset, straight out of my book. And I'm going to talk about it, guys. What is the difference between being responsive and being reactive? And as I go through this, I want you to ask yourself, am I responsive or am I reactive? You're going to know the difference in just a second. Am I reactive when it comes to building my business? Am I responsive when it comes to building my business? Am I reactive when it comes to making the decision to attend events? Am I responsive when it comes to motivating my team to never miss an event? I want you to have self-inventory with you. And part of self-inventory basically means this. You're going to go inside you. You're going to go inside your brain and your spirit, and you're going to take account for everything that's inside you. And you're going to say, listen, this is working for me. It's an asset or it's a liability. It's holding me back. Anytime that you have the mindset that creates liabilities, you're already taking money out of your business. And this is your business. This is your life. So the first thing that I want to talk about is if you are responsive as a business owner, as an iBoomerang ambassador, as someone who's making a decision right now, I will never miss another event with the name iBoomerang attached to it. I will never miss another event. When I'm sad, I won't miss an event. When I'm rich, I won't miss an event. When I'm struggling to pay for the event, I won't miss an event. See, that's the difference. See, if you are responsive, this is the mindset of a millionaire, the mindset of someone who's on the track. Now, listen, you can have the mindset of a millionaire. As a matter of fact, it is mandatory to have the mindset of a millionaire before you can have $1 million business. The mindset always comes first. When you hunt for something, you only hunt for something based on a mindset. So I'm going to put you in the mindset of hunting for that multi-million-dollar business as you are building iBoomerang. And the mindset starts now as we're going into Go Diamond. So if you are responsive in your business, you control the circumstances. If you are reactive in your business, you're controlled by the circumstances. You can't have a millionaire mindset and be controlled by circumstances. Johnny, what are we to do when all evidence based on my limited thinking says I can't build this business? I'm waiting for product. I'm waiting for technology. Listen, either you are controlled by the circumstances or you control the circumstances. Let me give you an example. New Diamonds, the Schmeckel brothers, Michael and Andra. I did a leadership call for them earlier this week for directors and above. As a matter of fact, every one of my diamonds should be reaching out to me this week to do a training for your directors and above. The mindset that they are in right now, I didn't call them and say, hey, I want to do a training for you. They called me and said, Johnny, will you do a training as we are leading up to Go Diamond? And they had no idea I was doing flight school. I didn't even tell them. I didn't say, hey, wait till Saturday for flight school. You'll get it all then. No, I said 24 hours from right now, we'll do a call. Michael and Andra says, you know what? We were in Mexico when Skin Tech was released. At this point, they have ordered over 7 first-class packages for Skin Tech and Zins. That's only a few months ago. That's about $7,000 US worth of product. Why? Either they're going to control the circumstances or they're going to be controlled by the circumstances. They know, they're thinking like business people. They're thinking like entrepreneurs. If everybody else is waiting on the product, why don't we have the most product when it eventually shows up? So when everybody in my team needs product, they're going to buy it from me. Here's the difference. You're controlled by the circumstances or you control the circumstances. Either you are responsive or you are reactive. There are soccer moms in America right now that are in prison. They've never had a criminal history. They've never broken the law, but because of road rage, wrong place, wrong time, being reactive, you have mothers in prison because they couldn't control themselves during a circumstance. This is serious stuff. If you want to have the mindset of a millionaire, the more you control the circumstances versus the circumstances controlling you, it's the difference between having the millionaire mindset in iBoomerang or just having a mindset to be a groupie and being close to the action. This is tough, but I promise you, if you get where I'm going, you're coming with me. If you are responsive, you set the sail. If you are reactive, you are moved by the current winds. You are moved by circumstances. Listen to me. You can't have a millionaire mindset and be reactive. You can't have a millionaire mindset and be controlled by circumstances. Every time something changes, here you go. Oh, this new opportunity. Oh, this new technology. Oh, I'm on to something else. I have seen people in our company that left iBoomerang and they were emeralds when they left, and they're already on their 3rd company in 12 months. 3 companies in 12 months. What would you follow you? Would you follow someone that's controlled by the wind? Every time the wind hits, they just blow the different way. No, even Jim Rohn says this. He said, you got to set the sail. You got to expect the wind. You have to know that wind and currents and things are going to be designed to blow you and push you and throw you off your pedestal. But those who have the millionaire mindset, you set the sail. So here's the deal. When the wind or the tornado or the hurricane or the tsunami, whatever it is, when it's coming my way, oh, this hurts. It's painful, Johnny. You don't understand. All of my family members and friends are still asking me, why are you still going to these events? Why are you still going to these events and you're still waiting on product? And everybody's talking about you and everybody's throwing insults at you, and that's the wind. How's your sale? How's your sale? I wish I had a sailboat in my office. I don't. I got one downstairs. But how's your sale? If you set the sail, you can actually use the wind to push you in the direction of a millionaire mindset. So when adversity comes my way, I do my best to figure out, how do I respond to this wind versus reacting? See, when you panic, you react. The only reason that somebody who was an emerald 18 months ago in iBoomerang is now on their third company after leaving iBoomerang, there's only one reason: they're reactive. I don't follow reactive people. I don't follow people who are controlled by circumstances. If I wanted to follow people who are controlled by circumstances, I would just go to a concert. I would just go to a professional game. Because every time something happens, boo, yay, boo, yay. It's easy to find those people. If you want to have the millionaire mindset as you are building iBoomerang, I want you to lock in this week. Well, I was thinking about booking, Go Diamond, but no, the but is an indication that you are controlled by some circumstance. When you make a decision, and you make that decision to go into the war of entrepreneurialism, you go into the war of becoming a millionaire. When you make that decision, you burn the bridge behind you. Do you know the word decide means to cut off? Think about it. Cut off, suicide, cut off life. Decide, cut off. You make a decision, you decide. There are no other options. See, when Holton, Erling, Mr. Haynes, T. Gray, Mark, all executives, when they said we're going to go diamond, there was no decision to be made. I already made a decision that I'm going to make $1 million a month in iBoomerang. Once I made that decision, I cut everything off. Why? Because I'm responsive, which leads me to my next point. I'm responsible. See, you can't make a decision to have a child, and when they're 3 years old, you say, you know what? I don't think I want to do this thing called parenting. No, you made a decision. You brought life. You're 3 years into this game. There is no quitting. That's how I feel about entrepreneurialism. That's how I feel about iBoomerang. When Holton flipped the switch, when Mr. Bug says, let there be iBoomerang, I was in it to win it. I was responsible for the decisions that I made. I'm responsible for every person that I have recruited and brought into iBoomerang. I'm responsible for every customer that exists in my team. I am responsible. What does that mean? Response able. If you look at it on your screen right now, response able. That's all it means. See, when you are responsive, you take accountability. Responsible, it literally means the ability to respond. That's all it means. Or those who don't have a millionaire mindset, those are still struggling as entrepreneurs, maybe it's because they have emotional responses. See, emotions means I'm not responsible. I was angry. I'm not responsible. I was temporarily insane. I can't be responsible because my emotions were bigger than reality. See, that's somebody who's reactive. When you have a lot to lose, you have to act like you have a lot to lose. When I was 19 years old, I would walk into anywhere and have a fight. When I was 17, 16 years old, me and my boys, we walked through the door looking for anybody who had a problem. Why? I had nothing to lose. See, if you treat iBoomerang like it's an option, you'll treat it like you have something to lose. Listen, let me reword that. If you really truly want to treat iBoomerang like a multi-million-dollar opportunity, I dare you to not have options. I dare you to tell yourself, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for where I'm headed. Yes, we're going to have stories. Name a startup company that doesn't have stories. I remember somebody told me that Uber, majorly respected company around the world, somebody told me that it took over 2 years, maybe 3, I'm going to underestimate because I don't like exaggerating, 2 years to connect a driver with a customer. 2 years. Would you want to be a part of that story? Well, yeah, I would love to invest. No, you wouldn't. You don't have the millionaire mindset. You're reactive. I can't believe I invested in this startup. I can't believe I put money in this company. They can't even connect the driver with the customer. That's the whole point of the company. And because you're reactive, you have an emotional response, you walk away. When responsibility is saying, hey, listen, we can respond, but we can't react. Reactions has cost people billions. You got to be responsible. You have to have the ability to respond in every situation. You have to have the mindset that you have a lot to lose. When I'm talking about iBoomerang, I'm talking about it in a way like, this is my life. This is my future. This is my everything. Missing Gold Diamond is not an option. I made a decision. I got to be responsible to that decision. Well, Johnny, I hear you talking, but your but is an emotional response. Well, Johnny, you don't know what I've been through in iBoomerang. What you've been through in iBoomerang, multiply it times 1,000. Multiply it times 25 different languages that I can't even speak. Yeah. Yeah. Your problem, Black Diamond problem. You got a problem because somebody in your neighborhood can't log in. I got 25 different languages in my organization that I don't speak. And I have to have those conversations with translators. Why? I'm responsive. Reactive? Screw this, I'm out. I'm turning my phone off for the next 30 days. No, that's not the millionaire mindset. If you want to be responsive in this business, number one, you know for a fact you don't miss anything. The only reason that you wouldn't miss anything that has to do with iBoomerang is because you're reacting to something. Now, I'm not saying, look, funerals, weddings, things like that, things happen. Graduations, bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras, it just happens. That's life. I'm not going to miss any of my children's major events for any event. Everybody knows that about me because I'm a responsible parent first. I'm a Wimbrey first before I'm anything. Wimbrey's come before iBoomerang all day, every day. That's how I am. It's just how I'm wired. But I'm responsible to the opportunity. I don't miss events unless it has something to do with my children. And with me saying that, I've never missed an event. Somehow, some way, because I'm responsible, I've always been able to make it work. I've flown into events before lunch the first day because I had a graduation the night before. I don't miss events. I'm responsible for making $1 million a month in iBoomerang. I can't get to $1 million a month being reactive. So you ask yourself, are you reactive in this business or are you responsive in this business? When you're responsive, you own their reality. You own your reality. Listen, in this book, Building a Millionaire Mindset, people think the book has something to do with making $1 million. It doesn't. It has something to do with the mindset that you can teach yourself and teach your children how to get it and maintain it and sustain it and pass it on for generations. Listen, when you understand the millionaire mindset, when you understand what it takes to build a multi-million-dollar business at iBoomerang, you have no choice but to be responsive. And under the category of responsive, you got to own your reality. Listen, COVID-19 happened. It happened. I cannot control that reality, but I can control how I respond to it. You ever hear someone say that 90% of what happens in your life is what happens in you? It's only 10% of what happens to you. COVID-19 happened. It never happened in me. You say, well, Johnny, does that mean that you didn't get the virus? No, it went through my house too. It went through my house too. But just because it happened to us doesn't mean I allowed it to happen in us. See, when you allow to have something in you, you become reactive. Oh, man, I'm tired of this. All these conversations I'm having, people are talking negative. It was never supposed to happen in you. Why are you reacting? Why are you controlled by these circumstances? Why are you moved by the current winds and the current situations? Why are you having an emotional response? Why are you reactive? It doesn't take thinking to react. As a matter of fact, you can react and have no brain. You don't have to be smart to react. Anybody can react. When you are a proactive, that means you think about it. The only reason that you wouldn't think about something before you made a major decision is because you have nothing to lose. Show me somebody who bought a McDonald's, spent $1.4 million cash dollars to have a franchise of a McDonald's, who walked away after 30 days because nobody came into their establishment because they had to fire and hire 16-year-olds before they can get a solid foundation crew. And they quit the first month. No, you got to do this for at least 2 or 3 years until you find your crew. Why doesn't somebody walk away from 1.4 million? It's too much. It's too much to lose. Why would you walk away from iBoomerang? It's because you see it as $99 a month. You see iBoomerang as a $1,000 opportunity. It's the only reason you would walk away. The only reason that you would entertain, the only reason that you would be controlled by circumstances, the only reason that you would be reactive. I'm not going to an event until they get everything right. That is reactive. That is emotion. And I would never follow you. Well, I wish I had somebody like Johnny on my team. No, you don't. I would never join your team because you're reactive. You can't recruit somebody like me with my mindset because I would sense it. I would walk into that room and I would smell you. I would sniff it out. Oh, you're reactive. I can't join your team. You don't have what it takes to lead me. Every single time you have an emotion, the entire team has to know about it. I can't follow you. I can't expose my people to you. So stop wanting Johnny Wimbrey to join your team. Stop wanting Martha to join your team. Stop looking for, you hear all of our top level leaders. I wish they were in my team. They wouldn't follow you. You don't have anything for them to follow because you're reactive. You miss events because of technology. You entertain quitting because of product not coming in the mail when we said, or you thought it was going to come. That is reactive. Future multi-billion-dollar producers. When I say future, I joined this industry when I was 25. 0 left, 0 right, 0 everything. I joined just like everybody else joined the industry. And I still wouldn't follow you. As a matter of fact, the person who recruited me stopped calling me after 6 weeks because I passed them up. I made their upline my leader, which ultimately would lead me to Holton Bugs. Why? I control the circumstances. Well, I would do a lot better if I was in so-and-so's team. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. Oh, yes, I would, Johnny. If I had your leadership, I would probably be a diamond right now. No, you wouldn't. That's the voice of somebody who's reacting. That's the voice of somebody who's being controlled by the circumstances. Have you ever known anybody to recruit you to believe something negative? That's somebody who's reactive. Hey, hey, Jex. Hey, man, look, I don't think we should go to Go Diamond in Houston because we need to make a point. I'm recruiting somebody to be negative with me. I'm putting more energy to recruit a negative belief than I am to recruiting to build my business in the millionaire mindset. If you ever find somebody, I don't care what part of your life it is, if you are following somebody who recruited you to believe something negative because they didn't want to believe it by themselves, or they wanted to multiply the negativity, that's somebody who's reactive. Come on. Confession is good for the soul. Don't run from this word. Confess it. Man, that was me. I was that person. I was the person that would call people and recruit them to believe negative things with me. You can't have a diamond mindset. You can't have a $1 million business with the reactive mindset. You got to own your reality. See, when you own your reality, that makes you responsible. In which something happens inside a giant when they become responsible. It's like a certain level of maturity, like like burns inside you for the first time when you say to yourself, you know what? I'm responsible for this. The wind blew, the tsunami hit, and all the negative things that have happened, I allowed it to happen in me. And not only did I allow it to happen in me, I became reactive and I started to recruit people to be on my negative I boomerang island. And you're wondering why your business isn't growing is because you recruited people to an island of negativity. And the only way that you can fix this is you got to own that reality. You got to own the reality. You got to pick up the phone immediately when this is over. And you got to say, hey, listen, you've got to listen to Flight School on July the 3rd. Well, I'll listen to it in a few days. No, you don't understand. I need you to listen to Flight School this morning. I'm putting a game plan in action with my entire team, and I need you on board. You are not going to believe what just happened as we're going into Go Diamond. So you get people to my voice. You get people to the voice of the leader that's saying, don't miss events. That's how you own the reality. You own the reality by going 10 times stronger to cancel anything that you put on your I boomerang negative island. You have a negative island that you built and you're wondering why everybody in your team is negative. You built the reactive island. You think you have a millionaire mindset, but you're controlled by the circumstances. I got somebody on the presentation on Zoom and they were 10 minutes late getting started because of technology issues with Zoom. What? That knocked you out of the business? That little mindset that you have right there, you reacted because your prospect recruited you to believe that iBoomerang wasn't real because the Zoom presentation did not start on time. You are controlled by circumstances. You don't deserve to have a millionaire reality. This is the subject of Going Diamond. This is the voice, the mindset that you want to have for the next 5 days, for the next 6 days, for the next 7 days, as we are all advancing to Houston, Texas, to be a part of Go Diamond. This is the mindset. You cannot be responsive and reactive at the exact same time. You got to choose poverty or you got to choose wealth. You cannot have both at the same time. Poverty is reserved for those who react. Why? Because they have nothing to lose. You can react and say whatever you want to say when you have nothing to lose. The only reason that people are reactive in the midst of adversity is because in their mind they have everything to lose. And the reality is you really have nothing to lose. Because when you have everything to lose, like go into your job and slap your boss. You ain't gonna do it, right? Why? Because you're gonna lose everything. You have too much at stake to lose that. If you will, you're just reactive. You're gonna have to start over in life 1,000 times. People who are reactive, you'll always see them starting over. People who are responsible, people who are responsive, they control the circumstances, they set the sail, they are responsible, they are able to respond, you have the ability to respond. You're proactive because you think. You own your reality instead of blaming others. I remember when I was selling insurance, I was 20 years old. I was very, very new in the insurance industry. And I remember coming back into the office and telling my boss, you know, the reason that, you know, I don't have as many contracts as the other people is because, you know, 3 of my appointments canceled on me. I drove 2 hours to a location and they wouldn't even open the door. That's why. I'm blaming everyone else for my reality. So what'd you do, Johnny? I just got in the car and came back home. You went 2 hours to a presentation and somebody stood you up. They didn't open the door. And then you drove another 2 hours coming home because they didn't open the door. That's reactive. Responsible it is, I'm going to meet 25 people before I leave this city, before I leave this town. That's how they wanted me to think. Reactive versus responsive. Reactive is reserved for poverty. Responsive is reserved for anybody who wants to become diamond. I thought I was going to be able to get into a little bit of this. How much time? Well, where are we at on time, guys? I can kill it right there and we're ready to go. It's 9:15. Give me 15 more minutes.
You have as much time as you need.
All right, let's jump into this.
Keep it rolling, Johnny.
All right. So here's what I want you to understand. Everything that we're talking about right now, these are the exact same principles that I use to create the reality that I have in my life right now. Like, it's not a secret. It's not something that, you know, I dug from underground and I'm going to share this time and I'm going to bury it back because I don't want anybody to have my secrets. No, this is exactly the mindset that has always put me at the top of every compensation plan I've ever touched. Do you hear what I just said? I've been doing this for 21 years, at least 5 or 6 different companies, every one of them, including the first company, I hit the top of the compensation plan. I'm going to let that set in for a second. I hit the very top of every company. Oh, wow. Johnny's like Superman when it comes to network marketing. No, I'm not. I'm just like you. I just have a different mindset. You could do everything that I do. You can make as many calls as I make. I just have a different mindset. The next topic that I want to talk about right now, I'm going to break down the difference between being optimistic and pessimistic. And you know what? This was meant to be because I wasn't going to go this far. This is really meant to be. Somebody needs to hear this right now. When you are optimistic, you entertain success. When you are pessimistic, you entertain failure. So you got to ask yourself, what are you attracting more in your business? Is it failure? If you're attracting more failure in your business, it's because you're pessimistic. Somebody who's pessimistic, these are individuals that are looking for problems. And I don't care who you are. I don't care how great you think your relationship is. I don't care how great you think your vehicle is. I don't care if you have a private jet and you think you have the best private jet on the planet. I don't care who you are. When you are looking for something wrong, you're going to find it. If you're looking for obstacles, you're going to find them in everything. You can have a brand new, I don't even know what to say. Like, what is my wife like? My wife loves, let's say, you can have a shopping spree at Burberry and you can have anything that you want in that store for 30 minutes. If my wife ran in that store and looked for problems, she's going to find problems. She's going to find failure. But the person who's looking for opportunity, even in the midst of greatness, pessimistic people can find negative things in the midst of greatness. That's just who they are. That's how they're wired. They don't have a millionaire mindset. Listen, when you don't have the mindset of a millionaire and you're not even searching for it, you're not even digging for it, you have no desire, trust me, you're pessimistic. Find me somebody who says, I don't want to be successful. I'll find you someone who's 99.9% chance they are a pessimistic person. They entertain failure and they search for failure. Optimistic people entertain success. Well, Johnny, how can you, seriously, Johnny, come on, man, come down to earth, motivational speaker. Come down to earth, best-selling author. Come down to earth, Black Diamond. Come on, Johnny, keep it real. Like, be real with me. I'm your boy. I'm your girl. You can tell me anything. It just stays between us. Johnny, for real, for real. Are you still entertaining success on iBoomerang? Just saying that out loud made me upset. Like, it really, it burns me up from the inside out. As if you think I'm afraid to tell the truth. That burns me up. One of my pet peeves is when people talk to me as if I'm lying to them. That's a real big pet peeve of mine. Well, Johnny, you know, if you tell us the truth, you know, tell us what's really on your heart. I'm Johnny Wimbrey. Ask anybody. I don't filter if you ask me what's on my heart. If you ask me something, that just basically means you opened up the door for me to be brutally honest, and it's coming. If you entertain success, you have no choice but to find success. If you entertain failure, trust me, even in the greatest atmospheres, you can show me a postcard a postcard of the most beautiful island on the planet with beautiful waterfalls. And I promise you, give me a magnifying glass and give it to a negative person, they're going to find failure in that picture. They're going to find something to complain about. Why? That's how they're wired. So I want you to be honest with yourself. I really want you to do self-inventory right now. I want you to take responsibility. I want you to own it. Do you entertain failure more than you entertain success? And listen, I'm not perfect in this area. I struggle in this area. That's my confession. But I promise you, if I think about failure for 2 minutes, I thought about success for 2 hours. My percentages are so great when it comes to entertaining success, failure has no choice but to be drowned. What if you could have the mindset of a millionaire before you became a millionaire by simply learning how to control the voices in your head that are optimistic versus pessimistic? What if you learn how to drown out and murder and destroy the words of failure? You may say, Johnny, I feel alive when I complain. I feel alive when I find problems. I feel alive. Well, go be a detective. Like, go be an investor. Like, use that pessimistic energy to go save lives. You're not a network marketer. You're never going to succeed in this industry. You can go on trips with us. You can go on vacations with us. We can travel the world together, and you can be very faithful to every event that we have. That's great, as long as you're being honest with yourself and you understand you're never going to touch the microphone. You're never going to walk the stage with a success story. Not because you can't. It's only because you find pleasure in finding failure, which means you find failure in yourself a lot. And that's not a millionaire mindset. The millionaire mindset focuses on the successes that are inside you, not your failures. You take accountability for the failures. You take accountability for the thinking. That's okay. But optimistic has to win. It has to eventually drown it out. When you're optimistic, you address a challenge. When you're pessimistic, you run from a challenge. This is why you have sapphires, rubies, and emeralds, even diamonds that have left iBoomerang, and they're on to their second and third company right now. And some of you are right now saying, woo, I'm so glad I didn't follow them, because they called me right at the right time. They called me right at the time where I couldn't log in. They called me right at the right time where I was questioning my commissions. They called me right at the right time when I was about to order new Zents. They called me exactly at the right time to remind me of every failure and every pessimistic opportunity that I can focus on. And they called me at the right time, and you followed. You followed someone who's a complainer. Ooh, and some people are so gifted at complaining. So, listen, I'm a motivational speaker. I have seen people sound better than me as a speaker complaining. Like, I've studied people who complain. I'm like, man, you got this thing down pat. Like, you are a crown ambassador of complaining. You are a triple crown ambassador at being pessimistic. Like, you won. You won. Go off to your next adventure so you can win over there with your pessimistic attitude. We're looking for people who are optimistic, who entertains success far more than they entertain failure. If you 50-50, you're already losing. You can't be 50-50 when it comes to being optimistic and pessimistic and having a millionaire mindset. It is impossible. You got to get the book. If you think 50-50 works, you got to get this book. It'll change your life. You'll start understanding, listen, I'm the enemy. I've been the enemy the entire time. The enemy inside me, me. Johnny can hold Johnny back better than anybody else. So I know I can't be pessimistic. I got to run to the challenge and address it, not run away from it. You run away from a challenge and you're wondering why you can't recruit people like me. Why would I follow somebody who runs from a challenge? I need a leader. I need somebody I can follow. So why did you join iBoomerang? Johnny, you haven't done business with Mr. Bugs since 2001. 20 years. 20 years ago was the last time we done business together. So for 20 years, you were focused doing what you do. He was focused doing what he does. Why 21 years later? Because I'm following somebody who's more optimistic than me. That's my confession. It is so sad that when you get to the top, you start realizing it's lonely up here. I'm looking down at the people who mentored me because they don't have the success that I have. Now my mentors are reaching up to me to mentor them. And I don't have anybody to reach up to. That's why I attached myself to Mr. Holton Bugs. He's one of the few people in the world that hasn't accomplished what I've accomplished. That has accomplished far greater than I've accomplished is the correct way to say it. So I'm reaching up to someone who's more optimistic than I am. Who are you reaching up to? Why aren't people following you? Is it because you're pessimistic? You got a great opportunity. You got talent. You got skills. People love to be around you until it's time to talk business because you're pessimistic. You got to ask yourself that question, to be honest with you. If you're optimistic, you're positively effective. When you're pessimistic, you're stressed out and you're negative. Well, why aren't my leaders taking my call? Because you're stressed out. You're negative. They don't want to take your call. Well, Johnny, it can't be that simple. You ever read the book Think and Grow Rich? It could have just said grow rich. Why did it say think? Because thinking is a majority rule to become successful. How you think. How you think. Positively effective. How can I bring a positive energy to this negative situation? The Smelkel brothers said, you know what? We will become distribution for all of the Czech Republic. That's positively effective. We'll spend $7,000 to be the shipment and product house for the Czech Republic. That is positivity, and it's effective. Stressed and negative, I'm not ordering anything else until I get my first batch. That's not an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur says, I need to order double because everything that I've already ordered is already sold before it gets here. That's optimistic. Pessimistic, I'm not doing anything until I see everything. That's an employee mindset. It's not an entrepreneur mindset. You can't bring an employee mindset to an entrepreneur world. An entrepreneur says, I got to be optimistic even in the midst of a storm, even in the midst of adversity. I got to be optimistic. Optimistic, you stand strong under pressure. Now listen, my hair, the little hair that I have in the back of my neck just stood up. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. The only reason I haven't fallen for other opportunities is because I'm still standing for iBoomerang. Think about what I just said. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. The only reason I'm still standing in iBoomerang is because I stand for iBoomerang. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, I made a decision. And when I make a decision, I cut everything off that can distract me from that decision. I've had friends, so-called friends, in the last 90 days reach out to me to want to recruit me into another company. My response to them was, if you want to look at my opportunity, you're more than welcome. But in all due respect, out of respect for my family, please don't try to recruit me into anything else, because iBoomerang is probably the company that I'm going to work for the rest of my life. That is my hope. See, when you're that honest with people, when you're that optimistic with people, they start wanting to be on your team because their leader doesn't have that kind of confidence. When you stand for something, especially in the midst of pressure, the reason that the Smechel brothers hit diamond in the midst of adversity in iBoomerang, in the midst of like just crazy adversity, the reason they hit diamond while most people were complaining is because they stood strong under pressure. It's the only reason. They kept everybody together when there was pressure. They took the hit. They invested in the future of their entire country by ordering more product because the first product is just arriving this week. So the product that's arriving last week and this week in Czech Republic, they have already ordered thousands of US dollars, not Czech currency, thousands of US dollars worth of more product, because the product that's showing up now and next week and the week after, it's already sold. So instead of making the customers wait again, the following week or the week after that, they'll already have enough product in inventory to re-up on every one of their customers, the drop of a dime. That is standing strong under pressure. Or you can crack at the side of pressure. You can just crack. And those who crack, they're going to recruit other people and want them to crack too. They want to recruit you in your thinking. Hey, let's all get together and sign a petition. What? Find me any entrepreneur that's ever done that. Now, employees do that. Entrepreneurs, no. We stand strong under pressure. We cover the crack. We fix the crack, even if it's a temporary fix. The Smechel brothers ordering over $10,000 in the last 90 days of product, not for them, for their entire country. That's covering the crack. Some of you want to expose the crack and you wonder why people won't follow you. It's like, hey, come join my team. Come see this presentation today. This guy named Johnny Wimbrey, who's a #1 best-selling author, motivational speaker. He's a black diamond in our company. You got to come hear him talk. And they're like, why would I want to hear him talk? You were talking bad about this company last week to me. Why are you inviting me to become motivated to see something that you crack under pressure? You want people to follow you when they see you cracking. That will never make sense to me. Well, I want to recruit somebody, that's strong and powerful like Fernanda. I want a Fernanda. No, she would never follow you if you crack under pressure. You can't recruit somebody with a millionaire mindset when you have a pessimistic mindset. Optimistic, you're cheerful. Pessimistic, you're fearful. You got to ask yourself, when it comes to iBoomerang, are you more fearful or are you more cheerful? And you got to be honest with yourself. If you are being led more by the fear that lives inside you, you're thinking like an employee. You're not thinking like an entrepreneur. Well, Johnny, I just want everything to be perfect. Me too. We're not different when it comes to that. Well, Johnny, I just want everything to work. Me too. We're not different when it comes to that. The difference is when you say it, it sounds fearful. When I say it, it sounds cheerful. I can't wait until we get past the adversity. I can't wait until the clouds separate and we can see the iBoomerang sun. That sounds cheerful. That sounds optimistic. Well, Johnny, what if it never gets better? What if it does? Well, Johnny, what if we never become a $1 billion company? What if we become a $20 billion a year company? So I'm a what if it is guy. I'm not a what if it don't guy. What if it don't people? They're pessimistic. What if it does is optimistic. Well, Johnny, I just don't know. I mean, we had credit card issues. We had technology. Our technology's been kidnapped and held for ransom by third-party companies, and Holton shelling out millions of dollars, just to keep everything moving. How much longer can Mr. and Mrs. Bug shell out millions of dollars because crooked companies are holding us with ransom, and they're holding this stuff against us? What if they can? What if they do? What if they are? What if they will? That's optimistic. It's not what if they don't. That was in 2020 anyway. This is 2021. There are storms that most people don't even know about. You felt the turbulence. You felt the reality of it. But the bottom line is, Mama and Papa Bugs took care of us. When most owners would have ran, shut the doors, and started a new company from scratch, they stood. Why? Because they entertain success, because they address challenges, because they're positively affected, because they stand strong under pressure. And they're cheerful. 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 I've known Mr. Bugs since the year 2000. I've always respected him. I've always had admiration for his work ethic. But there was something that happened at an event. I believe that we were in Mexico. I think we're in Mexico. And Holton got sick. He got sick behind stage. And I'm looking at him. And I'm looking at Mr. Haynes. I'm looking at Mark. I'm looking at T. Gray. And they can tell, like, I've never seen Holton like this before. And they can tell in my eyes, like, I've never seen this. And he had 10 minutes to be on stage, to close out the day with energy. And I literally thought to myself, what if he doesn't make it? And I caught myself right in the moment because I was pessimistic. What if he can't pull through? My mind went pessimistic. And this man, that probably should have been hooked up to some IVs and taken into the hospital to get his entire organs flushed out for 24 hours to replenish himself. This same man wires up his microphone, gets on stage, and I remember going out to the first row and I'm looking at him as I'm a professional speaker and I'm worried about him. And I'm looking at him, and not once did you see failure in his eyes. Not once did you see somebody who wanted to run from a challenge. Not once did he look stressed or negative. Not once did he crack. Not once did he look fearful. That's who I'll follow. That's who I follow. That's who I follow. I don't follow people just because they sound good. I don't follow people because they can regurgitate facts. I don't follow people who spend an hour on Google and the bathroom walls finding negative things that people are saying about iBoomerang. I don't follow those types of people. I follow people who entertain success, that address challenges, that are positively effective, that stand strong under pressure. I follow people who stand and they don't look fearful. They don't look like they're ready to run. And more importantly, I don't follow people who look like they need me. If the success of your company is going to rise or fall on me and me alone, that means you need me. Holton doesn't need me. Erling doesn't need me. They want me. They love having me. They don't need me. What do you think you need to build iBoomerang faster, stronger, and harder? What do you think you need? Whatever the answer is of whatever you need, why don't you become that? Why don't you become the person you need? Why don't you become optimistic for you? Why don't you become responsive for you? You ever heard somebody, they say, he's unresponsive. Get the machine out. Boom. Again. Boom. And they can feel the heartbeat come back. Some of you are unresponsive. Some of you are laying on the table of poverty right now. And you have accepted that reality. And we had 2 diamonds created in the last 30 days. While you are laying down on a gurney unresponsive when it comes to entrepreneurialism, when it comes to you building iBoomerang, when it comes to you giving your team something to follow, you are unresponsive. But it's okay. We're going to hit that reset button. You're going to forgive yourselves. You're going to forgive yourself for being pessimistic. You're going to forgive yourself for being reactive. You're going to forgive yourself for not booking Go Diamond. You're going to forgive yourself. So, Johnny, well, how do I resuscitate? How do I get myself back to life? You get back close to the fire. You know people who are iBoomerang inside and out. You know them, and you know that you haven't seen them. You haven't heard from them in months or days. I got an assignment for you. Share this training with them. Not tomorrow, today. And as you're watching this presentation, share this with your team today. Your today may be Sunday because somebody called you today and told you to watch this video, to watch this live flight school. And I'm telling you, you call your family members and friends, all of your business partners, tell them to watch this video. This is how you bring the life back. This is you basically saying, clear. You're looking for life. You're looking for life. And then go to work and start all over. There's not one person in my team that I need. I love everybody in my team. I love the energy they bring me. I love my leaders. But to say I need them, that would be just as arrogant as me saying Holton needs me. He doesn't need me. He wants me. Erlene doesn't need me to be a part of this company. She wants me a part of the company. That's how I feel about every single one of my leaders. I want them all. But don't you ever, ever, ever think to yourself that I need you. Don't. I can start all over from scratch today. That's just how I think. I'm optimistic. When you need somebody, you're going to start going down that path to being pessimistic, because if they threaten to leave, if they threaten to depart, if they threaten to spread pessimistic mindsets and you need them, you're going with them too. I want everybody on my team. I want every leader in the company. I love all the diamonds, but there's not one of them I need. I need me. I need me. I need my energy. I need to be optimistic. I need to have the millionaire mindset to give people something to follow. I need me. I need me so people can stand on my shoulders. So I got to build myself up. I got to create in me what people are looking for to become themselves. Be the fix to the problem, not the person who echoes the problem. Optimistic people are the fix. They're not the echo. People who echo problems and they network the problems. They're like network marketing. You tell two, they tell two, and they tell two, and they tell two. And now you're networking negative information. You're pessimistic. You feel valuable. Everybody's listening to me. Everybody's repeating what I'm saying now, but they're repeating the words of something that's pessimistic, something that's reactive. You can't have the millionaire mindset and be reactive. You can't have the millionaire mindset and be pessimistic. You got to be responsible. You got to know how to respond because you have everything to lose. If I see iBoomerang as $1 million a month commissionable opportunity? I see iBoomerang as a $1 million a month commissionable opportunity for me. For me. Do you understand how optimistic I have to be to continue to say that 2 years later? I see this as my vehicle that will get me to $1 million a month. I'll have the largest fleet of Vibe drivers in the entire world 5 years from now. I will have the largest organization of Build Genius free customers than any other team in the world 5 years from now. I will have more iGo subscribers. I will have, listen, I'm going to do boom vacations and boom group travel. I'm going to be doing more of this in the next 5 years than anybody else. I'm going to be doing destination trainings and elevate motivational events in Dubai. I'm going to have all my teams come from around the world to do destination events while they're learning and earning at the exact same time. I will have more Elevate participants and customers in my team in the next 5 years than any other team in the world. Do you understand everything that I'm doing is programming myself to think 5 years? So when you come with your 30-day mindset, it's too late. I'm already seeing 5 years from now. I'm already seeing $1 million a month in commissionable opportunities of iBoomerang. And by the way, even though I'm saying 5 years, I'm really saying 3.5 years, because I started 1.5 years ago with a 5-year mindset. So I'm already 18 months in or 20 months in. I'm 20 months in right now to my 5-year mindset of getting to $1 million a month in commissions. Do I sound pessimistic? Do I sound like I'm reacting to something? No. This is coming from deep inside me. And what's inside me, nobody can take away unless I give it to them. If somebody took away your iBoomerang dreams, they really didn't take it away. You gave it to them. Nobody can take anything that's inside you unless you give it to them. $1 million a month. $1 million a month in commissions in my first 5 years of iBoomerang. You don't have the power to distract that. Technology may pause it. Circumstances may pause it. But pause is not stop. Pause is not stop. A temporary pause. I will never make a permanent decision in a temporary situation. If you want to have the millionaire mindset, that is one of the key pillars in this book. If you're on my team, you better have this book. Like, I can't lead you if you don't know how I think with the millionaire mindset. You cannot make permanent decisions in a temporary situation. It's not even a pause. It's slow motion. It's just slow motion. But watch how we come out of this. Here's what I want from you. For those of you, and I'm not going to say for those of you, because then it leaves room for a pessimistic mindset. So I'm sorry I said that. All of you, I want you to take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of this training right now. Try to get me when I'm looking good. Don't get me when I'm like looking crazy. And I want you to also take a screenshot of your booking for iGo, for Go Diamond. I want a screenshot. Tag me in it. Tag me and screenshot any social media. I don't care if it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. I'm way more active on Instagram, just to let you know. But tag me at Wimbrey on any social media platform. That's my name, at Wimbrey. Here's what I want you to do. Take out your personal information, your address, your ID numbers, credit card, just blur that out. but I want to see your name on your registration ticket. And you say, Johnny, I did that a month ago. Do it again. I want you to give everybody an opportunity to see who our optimistic people are. I want to show the world right now today, in the next 60 minutes. In the next 60 minutes, I want the entire world to know that you are optimistic about iBoomerang by simply sharing with them that you booked Go Diamond. If it's virtual, book it. I want to see your name. Well, Johnny, we bought a ticket and there's 20 people coming over. It's not a millionaire mindset. It's not a millionaire mindset. Millionaire mindset, you don't buy one ticket for 20 people. That's not a millionaire mindset. That's somebody who's cutting corners. That's somebody, who wants everything for 10%. You can't walk up to a vending machine and put 10% of the money in and get 10% of the soda, 10% of the chips, 10% of the candy. No, you got to bid out. You got to give 100%. It doesn't care how much you want to eat or how much you want to drink. You are forced to buy 100% of it. I need you to 100% go all in. I want to see it. If you're coming to Houston, tag it. I'll be in Houston Thursday. I'll be in Houston Friday. Tell us. Let's brag. Let's tell the whole world that iBoomerang is coming to Houston, Texas. Let's tell the entire world that iBoomerang worldwide is coming to Go Diamond online. Let's tell the entire world Gary Vee does it. Grant Cardone brags about it. Eric Worre brags about it. I respect all of these guys. I want you to brag about it. Stop bragging about everybody else. Brag about your vehicle. Brag about the fact that we made it through adversity. Oh, and by the way, the storm is over. Oops. Were they supposed to find that out and Go Diamond? Storm is over, people. I can see the iBoomerang sun peeping through the clouds, and the storm is almost gone. You know what I'm talking about. Take a screenshot, post, not just in the WhatsApp chats. You can do that too. Do it in your chats, but do it on social media too. All of my leaders, man, I'm begging you to do it. Even my cool leaders, my leaders who are too cool to listen to me, please. I've never asked you for a favor. I have never asked any of you, hey, do this personally for me. I've never asked anybody that. I'm personally asking you right now to screenshot and post and tag me your confirmation for Go Diamond. I want to see your name on the confirmation. Blur out your personal information, but let me see your name. Why? I need to know who my millionaire mindset people are. When we get to Go Diamond, trust me, the iBoomerang that you thought you knew, I can't even, the iBoomerang that you thought you knew, the one you said yes, when you joined iBoomerang, that was the baby. I don't care if you joined 30 days ago. We were crawling. We were a baby. At Go Diamond, we're walking. Soon we'll be running. You don't want to miss what's about to happen at Go Diamond. Well, Johnny, what if it doesn't work? What if it does? Optimistic versus pessimistic. Thank you guys for having me. God bless you. I'll turn it back over to our amazing executives. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I'll see every one of you virtually or in person at Go Diamond in a few days. God bless you.